You know how I am about recording.
I know.
But last week was kind of our kickoff, just going over expectations, kind of setting the stage for what this program would be like. Tonight, we're going to talk about prospecting and booking away from your parties, because especially in the beginning of your business, that's what you've got to get good at. Once you get a good, consistent show schedule, if you are very adamant about booking 2 shows plus at every single show, then the prospecting and booking outside of the shows is not as important. But right now, that's what's going to get your business up and rolling and where you want it to be. So I want to start tonight by having you brag a little bit and tell us what has happened in the last week since last week's call as far as bookings on your calendar. Anybody have any successes they want to share?
Well, Lori knows I was having trouble getting bookings. I had a pretty empty calendar, but I didn't get the chance to talk to you, Lori, but I did get a party started this week. So I'm really excited about that. Yes. So that's going pretty good, and I'm taking your advice with the messages and, trying to stick to that role. And so far I've had a surprising number of people, conversating with me and everything. So fingers crossed this is my little ticket to a new tree or whatever, so I can more bookings. But so I did a good one.
Sweet. Yeah, we haven't had time to catch up with one another, so
it was insane.
It was, and I understand, and I know you understand, so it all works. And I'm here if you need me.
Yes.
But that is great, because I know you're really pushing, try to get some bookings.
Yes.
And just to piggyback on that, I have 2 parties going right now that have been very quiet, and I'm like, the hosts are not doing their daily tips like I'm telling them to do. Mm-hmm. So I kind of was like, guys, today's day 3. Don't forget to do your daily tips. But anyway, I started friending the people and messaging them, and within an hour, boom, 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 boom. I mean, people were starting to get active.
Yeah.
So private messaging people, just getting that conversation going with them. You're starting that relationship, which will lead into bookings and things like that. So, great job.
And Vanessa, another thing I will tell you is I think sometimes when you start this process of reaching out to the 15 people a week, you may not feel like you're getting the results, but what you're doing is you're building up momentum. And as you build up that momentum, you will begin to see the results as long as you continue to do it. I think sometimes, actually all the time, that's what happens to people is they try something new and they're not seeing those immediate results, so they stop doing it. And think about all the things in life where we do that. I go on a diet, I don't lose any weight, then what do? I go back to eating my same old bad, nasty habits. I exercise, I don't feel 100% better, so I quit exercising. So it's the same thing. It's just we just have to keep doing it, because when you keep doing it, there is no way that you will not see results.
That's true.
So make it a habit, and when you make it a habit, you will keep doing it. So good job for setting that habit. Trisha, how about you? Any successes?
Well, I was supposed to have 3 parties this past week, and 2 of them just didn't happen. And I wanted to make that $12.50 in sales, so I decided to do an in-home party Friday night, and just schedule it and do it. And it ended up being what I needed it to be, and I got a booking out of it. And then my one other party that did go this week ended up being a pretty decent party, and got some leads off of that. So I was excited that I knew what I wanted, and I went after it, and I made it happen. And that.
Yes, and that is the secret. Is again that you don't give up on that goal. You might have to find a different way to get there than you were originally planning to get there. But there is always a way to make sure that you meet those goals. So keep those goals in front of you, keep them at the top of your priority list, and do whatever it takes. Good job. I saw you put out the mystery host thing. So good job trying some different ways to make sure you met that goal.
Thank you.
That is exciting. So how about July? How's July looking for y'all?
It's looking. I actually had quite a few people that ended up not ordering the end of June. They didn't get their order-ins to me yesterday, and I've had about 4 people say, well, I wanted to get something. So I've set up another catalog kind of party to put those orders in.
Okay.
So working that, and then I have 4 definite for July, and then just kind of working. I have a list. I came up with a list the other day of about 15 to 20 people that I really want to connect with and see what I can't get, because my goal is to try to have 8 parties for July.
Nice.
Okay, wonderful.
It's that college thing, having to pay for college. It's really driving my momentum.
Well, I always say that money is probably the best driver in this business. I always say that, if I can't pay my mortgage, I either better go do a show or go back to work. And I don't want to go back to a regular job. So I'm going to find somebody to do a show.
Yeah, that college bill's getting ready to come. And it's like, if I can grow this business, then that will cover that college bill and we'll be good to go.
That is great. Good. You and I need to get on the phone too. I know we did not last week, and I can go over the tracker that Lori talked about last week, as far as keeping up with those contacts.
Okay, that'd be awesome.
Vanessa, how about you? How's July looking, and what's your goal for July?
Well, I mean, I've only got the 1 party right now. It's not looking too bright, but I'm hoping to get at least 3 parties booked off of this party. I've been talking up the host and telling her our goals, like kind of setting goals for her and telling her what we need to do and all this stuff. And she just started selling Scentsy. So she kind of is on the train with me. She wants to help me be successful, just like I'm going to try to help her be successful type deal. So, so she's doing good, and hopefully we'll be able to get a couple of parties off of this. So I'm hoping to at least get 4 parties in this month, if not more. So that's my goal.
Good.
That's great. And Vanessa, you don't know me that well yet, but I will just tell you there's one word that I'll always tell you every time you say it. You're going to think of me, and it's going to just absolutely go away from your vocabulary. And it's hope. What do you think you can change that word into? Instead of hoping to get 3 bookings, what could you say?
I guess I'll just say I will get 3 bookings.
See, you are so quick. I knew you were an A student. And it truly is, when you speak it, it will happen. So just always speak it like it's already happened in the positive. Because if we hope for something, it's kind of like Tricia was saying, I was going to do whatever it took to make that 1250 happen. Yeah. She didn't hope for 1250. She said, I'm going to have 1250. Now, how I get it, I don't know, but I'm going to have it. So there you go. I'm going to get 3 bookings from this show.
Okay, I will do it.
Okay, good. Good. And again, great for having that show the very first week of July. Even though it's July 4th week, still going out there and getting this show started.
Yeah.
Front loading your month is definitely the secret.
Yeah.
All right, good. Well, let's talk about, last week we did talk about the notebook. Lori, you want to do a quick little overview of the notebook and their 15 contacts?
Yeah. So, the notebook, little challenge that we did last week was, you get a piece of paper and you draw like a T, and on the left side is going to be old business, and you're going to write old business, and on the, left side, and then the right side is going to be new business. And I know, Tricia, you were a consultant in the past, and Vanessa is new. So you guys are kind of, both of you starting fresh and new. So most of your, the majority of your 15 contacts is going to be more on the right of new business rather than old business. So your old business is going to be past hosts, past guests, some of your leads that you've gotten, things like that. And then the right side is going to be your new business. So trying to think outside the box a little bit when you're out and about, talking to people, getting those new leads, maybe pampering a business, getting a new booking, just things like that. So you guys will probably have about 75% new business and 25% old. So what you would do is number 1 to 5 on old business and 1 to 10 on the right side for new business. And then fill in the blanks, fill in those with people's names and the responses, because we're really finding out that tracking really works. I've been doing tracking for a long time, and I have kind of 2 systems I track with recruiting. I have, in fact, I just did it last night so I could start this month, but I have this little worksheet here. So any of my leads that I get on my parties, I put over here on this small sheet. And then once I talk to them and kind of find out where they want to go, whether if they want to do it now or later, whatever it is, then I have a binder where I put their name in, when I talk to them, and when to contact them back, or just whatever their response was. I kind of put them on a short piece of paper first so I don't lose them. I'm a paper person, and if it's not written down, it's not going to happen type thing. So I keep everybody combined. So tracking. Your bookings is the same. If you talk to somebody and they say, no, not now, start making a list or put them in. What I do is I turn to my calendar, and if they say, now's not a really good time, but maybe in September, then I'll turn to September, and there on that calendar, I'll put contact Trisha for a Facebook party. And then when I start scheduling for September, then I'll just go down those people. So bookings and recruiting always have a tracking system of some sort. Just find out what works for you. So we wanted you guys to reach out to 15 people last week, old business, new business. And when you're doing that, you're getting in front of people, and hopefully getting some bookings and things like that.
Vanessa, how did that go for you?
It went okay. Like I said, I only got the 1 from it, but I definitely think in the future some of those people might want to do a party, so I'm gonna give it a break for a little while, and then I'm going to contact them again.
Good.
I think they definitely would be interested in it, maybe just not at this time. So
how did you do your contacts? Personal message?
I did a few of them over Facebook, a few over text message, and a couple of calls.
Okay.
Just however I felt would fit that person in our relationship, because there's some people that honestly it would be super out of the blue if I gave them a call.
Right.
I make it too desperate, but but yeah, I tried to do it, according to kind of how our relationship is. And, maybe next time I'll step it up and give them a call or something if I texted them this time. Keep in contact with everybody. So
great. So how many contacts did you make last week?
I made. I think I wrote it down. I think I talked to like 10 or 11 people.
Good.
I still have a few on the list that I want to talk to, but I did talk to that many. So.
And I think that's the average, isn't it, Dawn? Like 1 out of 10 people will book a party.
Yep. Yeah. And that's why we say track it, because we can say, you know what, you're getting the results that you should be getting. Mm-hmm. And that, I think, is encouraging.
Yeah.
If you don't hear us say that, sometimes you're like, oh my gosh, I talked to 10 people and I only got 1 booking. But when you hear us say that's actually really good. That's what you should be getting. That makes you feel better, and it helps keep you moving forward.
Yes.
So what we want you to be able to say each week is, I called or reached out to 15 people. I talked to blank, and these were my results. That way we can kind of help and make sure that you're getting the results that you need to get, and that you're moving forward with your business as far as your bookings and your recruit leads.
Okay.
Okay. Trisha, any questions you have with that?
No.
That makes sense about tracking?
And my brain's starting to churn. Yeah.
Okay, good. Good. You probably remember Stephanie Richardson from when you were a consultant before, and this was really her thing, that she never has to worry about 2 parties a week, because every single week she does 20 two-way contacts. And what she says is two-way means that you actually have a connection with that person. Not that you send them a message and they don't respond, but that you have that connection. Because like Lori was saying, once you make that connection, then you can truly impact the results of that connection. But if they never respond to you, there's not a lot you can do. So that's what you want to start looking for. And each week be able to tell us, how many you reached out to, how many you connected with, and what were the results.
And that makes it really tangible.
Mm-hmm.
Well, with tangible things.
Yes, it does. Lori, do you happen to have that sheet that you held up as a document you can share?
Yeah.
Can you share that in our little message group?
Yep.
Okay, good. Thank you. Because I like that. I hadn't seen that in a long time. But that's a really good sheet. I like that.
Yeah, I like that too. It just helps me put them down there if I talk to them, or like because once I'm done with the party and I have all my checklists done, I throw that checklist away. So this kind of puts their name on this paper. When I follow up with them, then they'll move to my binder, so it's kind of like in 3 different
process.
Yeah, a little process.
Okay. All right. So last week you were supposed to listen to the audio, make it a full calendar with Ann McMillan, Olivia, and Shaylin. Did y'all have a chance to listen to that?
I did.
Good. Vanessa, anything you took away from that?
I did. I think something that relates to me is just trying to get my name out there that I'm selling Pampered Chef now and everything. And I liked how they said to, make yourself aware out in the community, wear the logo, carry the bag, put a sticker on your car, that type of stuff. So I think that's easy stuff I can do. So I'm definitely going to start doing that. Keep catalogs with me everywhere I go. And they said a lot of things that, y'all are talking about building relationships and keeping the notebook with your contacts and that kind of stuff. So I think I'm just going to try to apply as much of that as I can this month and forward with everything that I'm doing. They also mentioned things about vendor events. Mm-hmm. And I was going to ask y'all, have y'all ever done that? And was it successful? Was it worth the time?
I used to do a lot of them.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Dawn. Sorry.
No, you're fine. Go ahead. You want to tell your results?
Yeah, to be honest, they're kind of hit and miss. You do have good ones, and you do have some that you get nothing from, but it's a good experience. And I'm always like, well, it's only, a couple hours of my time. You just have to try it and just go for it. But I always ask the people, whoever's doing the vendor event, how are they marketing it? Who are they marketing it to? Are they putting it in a newspaper? Are they putting it on Facebook? Because if they're not marketing it good, then you're not going to have a good turnout, Yeah. But yeah, and especially being new, definitely take the chance and do it. You don't sell a lot, and get orders, but you get leads.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Have y'all ever been, I know y'all are pretty local. Dawn, you live in New Bern, right?
Yes.
Have you ever been down to Newport Flea Mall, that big flea mall that they have?
I have not, and I'm going to tell you, I personally am not a big vendor person. With my personality, I don't do as well with vendor events as I do as going to a cooking show. I can go to a cooking show and book everybody in the room, and go to a vendor event, and I'm like this meek, mild, quiet, shy person.
Yeah.
So I have known several people that have done that.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know how to say this without it sounding ugly, but I'm just going to say it. The clientele is not really the clientele that's looking to host Pampered Chef cooking show.
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
We used to live in Havelock, so I know what that place is kind of like.
Yeah. That didn't sound very nice, but
no, I totally understand. I just thought I would run it past y'all since I know y'all are local. I didn't know if you've heard of anyone doing that.
But I will tell you, I'll tell you exactly like what Lori said. If it is, I always tell people, number one, look at the cost. I don't want you to go out there and spend hundreds of dollars to do a vendor event. I also don't like to see consultants do multi-day vendor events. That is exhausting.
It is.
To be on your feet and put a smile on your face and talk to all those people. And what they say about a vendor event is if you're not willing to come home and personally call every single person you've met, then you're not going to get a lot of results from it.
Yeah.
Because you're talking when you go, and I think that's why I like the cooking show better. The cooking show, it gives me an hour, hour and a half to connect with those people. And they get to know me, I get to know them, and that leads into those bookings and that future business and that relationship. At a vendor event, you're talking 30 seconds. That is a really hard thing to connect with somebody in that short amount of time. So that's why it's so important that you make those follow-up phone calls. Yeah. So I would rather see you do a 2-3 hour event that's $25 that you're going to walk away with 25 to 30 contacts than to do a 2-day $400 event that you're walking away with 500 contacts, because you're not going to call 500 people.
Yeah.
You know, you might call 25 to 30 people.
Yeah.
So that's what I would look for, is things that are low cost, that's not a huge commitment of your time. And go kind of get a feel for it. Once you get something booked, we'll talk with you on what to do to get the best results.
Okay. Well, thank you for your.
But that's a really good. I think it's a good way to prospect.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, especially if you don't have a huge pool of people. That's a good way to go meet some new people.
Okay.
Okay. Good. Tricia, I would go back and listen to that call if you said you didn't get a chance to listen.
Okay.
It is, I posted it in this,
okay. I'll scroll back.
Feed last week. Yeah. So go back up and you'll see it. It's on the website, but I posted the link to it.
Okay. Perfect.
Okay. Yeah, I think they had some good things. And Vanessa, I think what you heard is that you have to make Pampered Chef part of who you are. It's part of your everyday life. When you're at the grocery store, when you're at the dentist office, it's who you are. And I remember years ago, the girl that was my director when I signed up, if people ask her what she did, she'd say, I'm a stay-at-home mom. Pampered Chef was not part of who she was. She saw herself as a stay-at-home mom, and Pampered Chef was kind of secondary to that, and people did not see her as the Pampered Chef lady. You want people to see you as the Pampered Chef lady, and you want them to know what you do. Not just that you're the Pampered Chef lady, but I teach people ways to get dinner on the table for their family in no time. Or whatever it is. We did this at a meeting one time, and we had people come up with a little tagline for themselves. And somebody said, I do drive-through intervention, which I loved, because when you say that to somebody, when they say, what do you do? And you say, I do drive-through intervention, what do you think is going to happen?
They're going to ask you what that is.
Yes, they will say, oh my gosh, what is that? And when they ask you what it is, then they're listening. If you just go tell them, they may not truly be listening, but if they ask you, they're listening to your response. So think of your own little tagline so that when people do say, what do? You can tell them what you do. Belinda Ellsworth said, don't tell them who you are, tell them what you do.
I even told New Kids on the Block last week what I did.
You did?
Because Jordan always goes live on Instagram. So I was like, I said, you going to go live tonight? And he was like, I don't know. I said, well, if you do, look up Pampered Chef Lori. And he's like, oh, are you a chef? I'm like, no, but I teach people how to make 30-minute meals.
I love it.
Yeah.
That is cute. So what did he say?
Nothing. I had to move on.
Nothing.
Moved down the line.
I love it. I love it. All right. Well, let's move into tonight's training, which is prospecting and booking away from parties. And I'm just going to give you a little, just a little definition of prospecting and what that is. Prospecting, let me find my little thing here. Prospecting is the process of searching for potential customers, clients, or buyers in order to develop new business. The end goal is to move prospects through the sales funnel until they eventually convert into revenue-generating customers. So the funnel, and they say, you know, you picture a funnel with the wide part up here. Funnel, you're putting a whole lot in the top, but it's coming out slowly and fewer at the bottom. And that's what we want you to think about. When you're prospecting, you've got to put a whole lot in the top in order to get a few to come out the bottom of that funnel. So right now, you want to think about as many people as you can with prospecting and think about different ways that you can get out there and get your name out and let people know what you do. So how, when, and where do you prospect? What do y'all think? How do you prospect?
Talking about what you do and about the business and about Pampered Chef and what it can offer you and just having those conversations.
Good. That's exactly right. Talking about what you do, having those conversations. And I'll just piggyback on that by sharing with them what you have to offer them, what solutions you can provide to their problems. Because I always say this, we live in a me world and people want to know what's in it for me because we have so many things that can take our time and we need to make sure that we're picking things that are going to really benefit our life and our family's lives. So what can you offer to them? When do we prospect?
All the time.
So, all the time. Yep. In all that you're doing. And does that mean that you're saying, hey, Tricia, I'm a Pampered Chef consultant and I need people to have shows. When are you having yours?
No.
No. Because when we make it about us, that's when we do appear to be pushy. So remember, in order to not be pushy, you want to make it about them, not about you. So when do you prospect? All the time. How do you prospect? By telling them what you have to offer to their life. And where do we prospect?
Everywhere.
Everywhere. Everywhere you go, because you never know who's going to be there that needs what Pampered Chef can offer to their life. And I will tell you, I find this day and time that there are so many people that have no clue how to put a meal on the table for their family. And that's something we can offer them. So another great way to prospect is by giving out mini catalogs. And Lori's going to talk a little bit about the 10 mini catalog challenge. And Lori, we are getting short on time, so this is going to be quick.
6 minutes. Okay. I'll make it quick. So the mini, what's it called? The mini catalog challenge of 10. So this week, from now till next Monday, you're going to grab 10 mini catalogs. Okay. Do each of you have any of these little stickers?
No.
No, I don't have any.
No.
Okay, I'm going to mail you some tomorrow.
Okay.
Okay, good. So these little stickers are kind of like the white drawing slips that came in your kit. Has their name, email, phone number. Are you interested in cooking show, catalog show, whatever? So what you're going to do is put those little, they're like sticky notes, put them on 10, put your name on the back, stamp your name, write your name. And then while you're out and about this week, hand out 10. You know, the best people I find are waitresses. Just because they're pretty much they're people, make people friendly. I can't think right now. But they're normally people that are around people all the time, and they would just be great. I always talk to my waitresses about the business, and I always leave a mini catalog or my card or something. But when you're out and about this week, no matter where you're at, the post office, the doctor's office, the dentist office, daycare, cashiers at any of the stores you go through, and have them say, I forget what it said on the thing tonight. But when you wear a logo shirt, I was in Best Buy last week and I was checking out and the lady was like, I like your shirt. I was like, oh, thanks. She's like, my mom used to sell Pampered Chef. I was like, oh, really? I said, that's pretty cool. And I said, well, here, since you like my shirt, I said, I know you love Pampered Chef. I said, here's a little mini catalog for you. I said, I don't know if you have a local consultant that you work with or not. And I didn't have her fill out this. I'm going to be completely honest. But I should have, and I could have gotten her information. And then take it home, put the information in your contacts so that they're always in there. They'll be getting your emails and stuff. But then follow up with them too. When you give it to them and they give you their information, say, I'll give you a couple of days to look over this. It'll be, is it a good time to maybe give you a call in midweek or something? So that way they know they're expecting you to call, So yeah, wearing your logo shirts, I kind of wear them everywhere just because that just starts a conversation with people. But let people know that you are a Pampered Chef consultant. And then they're going to say, oh, I love Pampered Chef. And then you're just going to say, oh, well, here's a little mini catalog for you. I would love to put you on my mailing list, whatever, just make up something. And can I get some of your information? And don't tell them what to fill out. Just give it to them and let them fill it out. Because you want them to read at the bottom, are they interested in a cooking show or a catalog show or a Facebook party? So just ask them to fill it out for you. And you can catch up with them in a couple of days. So that's the 10 mini catalog challenge for this week. So that's one a day, a little bit more than one a day. Over the weekend, you might be able to do a little bit more. But just think of anywhere you go this week. Take them with you. Put them in your purse, leave them in your car, put them in a diaper bag, already ready to go. And that way you can bam, bam, bam. And that's going to give you new business. It's going to leave this, even if you don't get nothing out of it, this catalog is going to end up somewhere. Hopefully not the trash, but it'll be laying around somewhere and somebody will get your name, So anything to add on that, Dawn?
No, but I have these on my desk with your name on them, so I'll put them in the mail tomorrow, so you'll have those to attach. The only other thing that I was going to say about that is I had another consultant that we challenged them to do mini catalogs, and she didn't have any mini catalogs. So she actually took the link to the mini catalog and sent it out through Facebook Messenger to people. Now, that's not quite as effective because she knows all the people she was sending it to. And when you're doing it out and about, you're typically giving them to people you don't know. So you're making brand new connections. But that is another way to share your business, is to share that mini catalog link. And y'all know how to do that, right?
I think so, yes.
When you go to the website, you go to shop, you'll see the view interactive catalog, and you can either send the interactive full catalog or the interactive mini catalog to people. So that's like, a virtual catalog they're flipping through.
Okay.
Okay. All right. So your call to action this week is to hand out 10 mini catalogs and get their contact information. to work in your tracking notebook and make at least 15 contacts this week and be ready to report to us next week. How many did you reach out to? How many did you connect with? And what were your results? Our training audio for this week is Make It a Network.